Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out today to the 2023 Varsity Crusader Invitational. We're going to get started with a word of prayer, take care of a couple housekeeping things, and get things started today. Let's pray. Dear precious Heavenly Father, thank you so much for a gorgeous day, and thank you for the sport of basketball. We're thankful for the safety you've granted our visitors and our hosts today, and thankful for the officials taking time out of their weekend to be here, make these games possible. Lord, we pray that you would keep all of our athletes safe from injury, help them to give their very best today, and to give you glory for the results and everything we say, think, and do, Father. And we ask all these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Just a couple of quick announcements. We do have concessions available at the table there for you as well. If you are using the rooms today, just a reminder to keep those as neat as possible. Those are some of our elementary classrooms, as well as the doors. We are having a door decorating contest. Try to keep those neat for us. If the door does get locked, please look for me in the white quarter zip, Zach Gore in the yellow one. We'll get those unlocked for you. The winner of this game is going to be playing at 2 p.m. in the championship round. The loser will be playing right after this at 12:30. And for this second game today, we'll start with the starting lineup for the Good News Defenders. Number 1, Thomas Bell. Number 13, Demarion Scott. Number 22, Christian Skates. Number 12, PJ Nelson. And number 24, Keeland Moore. And the starting lineup for the Pleasant View Bulldogs. Number 2, Landon Wagler. Number 4, Shane Stahl. Number 13, Evan Knepp. Number 22, Trenton Graber. And number 25, Tyson Graber. All right, gentlemen.
Well, hello and good late Saturday morning to you, December 2nd, 2023, as this is the second game of this Varsity Crusader Classic Invitational Tournament, as Tip, and that one is won by Pleasant View, and then taken away by Good News, and that will be a 2-point miss by 22 of Good News. And here's Pleasant View with the ball, and that one's laid in by 13. Evan Knepp for Pleasant View. Here's Good News with the ball. And 1. Gets it to 22. Guarded by 4. There's 22. Good defense. Throws it inside. And good job able to catch that. And that one is short. And that will be Pleasant View able to get that. And everybody's able to get back for Good News. So that's all that. And here comes Shane Stoll, who missed a layup. And Good News has the ball down by 2. And 22 with the ball for Good News. On the ground, and 1. Lost it out of bounds. It'll be Pleasant View ball, so that's what I was just getting ready to say before Tip, as, of course, if, as you know, whoever wins this game will play Suburban in the championship game at 2 o'clock. As here's 13, gives it to 2. And there is 4. Outside, that's a three. That one's short. And able to get it back is Pleasant View, and that shot is a foul on 13 of Good News. Demarion Scott of Good News. And this is number 22. Trenton Graber, who makes the first free throw. It is 3-0. And the second free throw is good. 4-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. As we're coming up on 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. And inside, and that's going to be a turnover to Pleasant View. .5:10 to play here in the first quarter. And here's 13, gives it to 2. And a foul on Good News. Gets it in. Here's 25. Passes inside. 2. And turnaround short. And rebound offensive. 4. You got 13 right there. And he will take it and make it. Evan Knepp with the three-point shot as it is 7-0 Pleasant View. As that one is out of bounds off of the Bulldogs. Timeout. Timeout, Good News. As they were down 7-0, I sure hope Good News can put some points on the board. I know they want to, but man, I am getting tired of these blowouts here. It's been they're driving me a little bit nuts. I'm not saying this game is going to turn out into one right now, right this second, but I sure don't want it to. And that one's inbounded to 22. And that one's thrown right there to 25. Outside 1. And on the ground. And a jump ball. And Good News will retain the ball. 4:19 to play here in the opening quarter. And inbound, and it'll be a kick, and Good News will get another chance. And they will get it into 1, able to get it, and throws it over there, 24, outside, 22, and looking to spin and shoot, no, and that was close to being out of bounds, but it was a good job. Pleasant View able to get it where it wasn't, and they have the ball, 13, and outside, that's a 3, and that one's short, and rebound Pleasant View. And that's a 3, which is off. Good News is trying. Good News is trying to get something on the board. And inside, good block, foul, and 2 shots coming for coming for 25, Tyson Graber of Pleasant View. 3:39 to play here in the first quarter. First one, yes. 8. 8-0. Second one, yes. 9-0, Pleasant View. Let's see if Good News can get it on the board. I think they can. They just need to look for a good shot here. And throws it over there. 24. Paint outside. That's a 3. And that one, no good, but hold 40 on Pleasant View. All right, inbound coming. And there's 4 behind the three-point arc. 4, almost lost it, got it back, outside, 12. That 3 is just off, but they get their own rebound. Here's 12, he has it outside 4. They want to score, inside, that one's no good, but a foul is called. And, no, I guess that, sorry, I guess, anyway, I guess it's Pleasant View ball, so excuse me for that. Under 3 minutes to play in opening quarter. Inside, good block by Macon Washington of Good News. Forgive me if I don't say names here for both teams right away, because obviously I'm not as familiar with both teams, so I'm going to try my best and make sure they get mentioned at some point, and obviously they get mentioned during the starting the lineup information when I go over at halftime. A foul on Good News. Obviously, I'm holding my roster thing here, but I like to, try to keep my eyes on the action, and then briefly go back and look at the rosters. That first free throw is good by Shane Stoll of Pleasant View. 10-0. Opening quarter, yes. 2:51 to play. Second one, yes. 11-0, Pleasant View, but Good News has been trying to score. They've been trying to get on the board. I really think they can get something going if they just, just get a good shot. I really think so. They want to score. They really want to. In the paint, outside 25. In the paint, that one is good. Yes, rolls around good. Good job. I told you they weren't going to score. That one's, and some of the number stuff was changed around too. A foul on Good News. I was looking down my roster sheet, so sorry. 2:19 to play here in the first. First one was good. I'm sorry, 12-2. There we go. Get that updated score. Now it is 13-2. All right, here comes Good News with the ball. And outside 23. And outside 12. I'm sorry, 2, excuse me. Inside, out. I believe that's a three-point attempt. It's good. At least it should be a 3. Yes, it is. 13-5. Under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. And 25, a 3 to answer. No. And right there, 4 on the offensive board. Outside 13. Inside, good move, and count that in a foul. 15-5, plus 1 coming for Evan Knepp. Free throw good, 16-5. Gives it to 12. And 12 inside, and that will be a foul on Pleasant View, and 2 free throws coming. For number 12, and that is PJ Nelson. Missed the first free throw. Second one, good. 16-6. Substitution being made by Good News. As here comes the Bulldogs up by 10 and 25. Pass it over there. 22. Turn around short. Gets it back though. And stolen away by Good News. And inside, 11's just left it short. And here comes Pleasant View, blocked by the defenders. And here they come and running. Good block there. 24 gets inside, makes it off the glass. And it's 16-8. Good defense, good offense on the other side. Under 40 seconds left of the first quarter. 25 inside, no. And they call a foul. A shooting foul with 30.1 seconds left here in the first quarter, I believe. Tyson Graber hits the first free throw, 17-8. Second one, yes. 18-8. All right, Good News on offense. 11 behind the arc. Double teamed and White 25. A foul. Inbound pass, 19.5, gets it in, 11-2. Behind the arc, get inside, 2-point shot. Yes, what a shot. 18-10. Here, okay, time about to expire. Here's 4. Over there, fake, not going to get off a shot. But good job, Good News. Did cut it to an 8-point game, but that's the first quarter ends. So, a very good move there for Good News. And so the second quarter is coming up next. We'll be right back with you. Okay, second quarter, here we go. Pleasant View up by 8. And 25 on the drive, puts it up. No, foul is called. As 25, Tyson Graber, you would think if I've gone over these names, you think I have them memorized by now. But 19 to 10, Pleasant View. But honestly, that's not the case. I mean, I can look back and forth between the information. I just... All right, good news down by 9. Two passes over to 1, guarded by 15. Outside. Jump. No, no. Inbounded and gets inside and puts it up. Just missed it right there on the follow. No. Right there, 12. Put it and pass it out to 1. Outside. That's a 3, which is just off. Almost there. And good save for Pleasant View to bring the ball into the front court. And 25. No good on a 3. And rebound, good news. And here's 1. Foul on the Bulldogs. And that one is a 3 and misses and goes out of bounds. .13 gives it to 14. Here's 4. Outside the arc, 13. 25. Stolen away, 12. Over in the corner. Shoots. And off the right side there, out of bounds. Inside, stolen away. Stops and taken by Pleasant View and a foul. Oh, a travel called, so it will be good news ball. 5 minutes and a second left here in the first half. Inbound, and not the best inbound pass you could make. Best decision anyway. There's 25, and another travel on Pleasant View. And it will go right back to the defenders. Timeout, Mr. Rivera, with 4:42 to play here in the second quarter. So as you can see, it's still a manageable game. If you're Good News, though, you can't let it slip away too much. But they're still in the game. I'm thankful for that because, folks, here I'm not going to try to get into it right now because I think you kind of understand. I think what I'm trying to say is, I think you get the way I feel about blowouts and stuff like that. I think you just kind of, you know how I feel about that kind of stuff right now. Because, I mean, oh my goodness. I like good, competitive basketball. Good, tight, competitive basketball. And that goes for all the kind of games. But, you know, I'm just giving you a gist of how I feel about certain things. But But anyway, that's the way I feel, and that's what I'm sticking with. All right. Inbound pass. Good news to the ball. Here's 12. Pass it right there, 4. And there's 1. And there's 4 outside. And he traveled with it. And it will be Pleasant View ball. $15 behind the arc. Wants to throw it inside. Does, but that one's taken away by 4 of Good News. Good job to take that away. And ahead, but throws it away out of bounds. And that's a turnover, which is something you cannot do. You're Good News. You're down by 9. You just cannot. Those turnovers are going to kill you. And that right there does not help your cause at all. I mean, Pleasant View hasn't been able to put as much points here recently. I mean, there's been, they've been turning the ball over, traveling. I mean, Good News is still right within it, and still down by 9. But you can't be turning the ball over like that. What they just did. If you want to get back into the game here, under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's 4 behind the arc. 15. That's a wide open 3, but another travel on Pleasant View. My goodness, they're killing themselves with the travels. I'm telling you. And Good News will get it in bounds. But my goodness, that's what, I mean, these turnovers and stuff for Pleasant View, they're the ones keeping Good News in the ball game here. But, I mean, you just can't do it. I mean, it's like, that kills you. And that's also that's another travel. And so another turnover for both teams. Keep swapping turnovers here eventually. And that does not help both teams' causes. You're Pleasant View. You're trying to extend the game. You're trying to put it out of hand. And if Good News, you're trying to get back into it. I'm just saying you can't be doing that kind of stuff. They're killing you. They're killing you on both sides. I'm being honest as I can. You just can't do it. Here's 13. Here's 4. That's a 3. It's off the glass. Able to get the ball back. Here's 25 behind the arc. And 25 gets to 13. That's a 3, and that will be in and out. And rebound taken by Good News. So here they go again. Here's 12 in the paint. That one will be a foul. And I believe he will go to the line twice. 2 shots for 12 of Good News, and that is P.J. Nelson. And the first free throw is off the mark. So these are also opportunities if you're Good News. You're at the free throw line. There are 3 points. No defense. Nothing. You got to put these points in. You're down by 9. And the second free throw is across the line, so the shot would not have counted anyway. So once again, nothing on the offensive side for Good News. They're down by 9, and Pleasant View has the ball. But let's see if Pleasant View can put a shot in. Under 2:50 to play, and in the drive, he scores. That's a beautiful layup for 21 of Pleasant View, I think. As that one's a good inside. 21 to 12. I don't think that was 21. I think that might have been 22 for Good News. And that one is good off the glass. 25, 23-12. I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. I don't know. Of course, there was kind of some corrections being made and all that. But I'll go over this stuff at halftime with you. The starters and information and stuff like that. And good defense taken away by Pleasant View. Here they come. 2 in the paint. Turnaround foul on Good News Ministries. Good News defenders. First free throw is short, as this is number 2, Landon Wagler for Pleasant View. Substitution, 22 comes, actually 2 of them go out, I guess. A minute 59 to play here in the second quarter. Free throw, good this time. All right, 24-12. If you're good news, you're down by 12. Let's see if you can kind of cut into it before halftime, but but Brother Rivera was able to get a timeout because good news was about to turn the ball over, or who knows what was going to happen. Anyway, it's a 12-point game. If you're good news here, you're down by 12. You need to try and you need to see if you can cut in this lead before halftime, because what's at stake here, folks? Well, what's at stake is the winner will get to play Suburban and the championship at 2 o'clock, or around there, obviously. But with that being said, we'll see what happens here when both teams come out of the timeout. All right, out of the timeout. Good news, down by 12. They need to get it into the front court, and they will. That was a turnover now by Good News. And here's 25 outside, 2 outside in the paint. 22, good swat, but Good News. Pleasant View ends up getting it back now, foul on 1, as Rivera was getting on him about to reach. All right, back in. A minute and a half and inbound pass from the Bulldogs. Find it in the paint, too. A little turnaround and scores off the glass. That was pretty nice. 26-12. And that's not good if you're Good News. Inside and scores. Yeah, you just gave up 2 points there. Not the best. And now they just turned it over again. And in the paint, outside. My goodness. 13 and wide open in the paint. 22 puts it in. And 30-12. And if you're Good News, that's not obviously not what you want. And now almost turned over again as that one goes out of bounds with 51.9 seconds left to play before halftime. I'm telling you, but if you're... And now out of bounds again. And let's see if they can get it into the front court without turning the ball over. And out of bounds again. So Pleasant View playing good defense. Inbounded. Here's 23. Kende outside. And the paint puts it up, throws it over the goal, and a foul on the Bulldogs with 31.9 seconds left. First one good. (30-13). And another miscue by Good News Ministries. And that was Amit Anderson shooting the free throw. It's a good catch, but cannot get the shot. Let's see if they play for the final shot. It's on the ground. They're able to get it back, though. And one, and good defense. Good. I mean, this is good defense by Pleasant View. Again in the paint, scores 32-13. blocking foul in 25. 4.8 seconds left. So if you're good news, let's see if you can somehow get the final shot without turning the ball over. Just be careful. Here's 23. You got it wide open. There's one. That's a three, and it is just short. But I'm glad they were able to at least get the ball. I'm glad they were at least able to get the shot off, and they did not turn the ball over, which was also important too. So anyway, I mean, interesting turnovers by both teams, but Pleasant View is obviously making the better difference of it. But good news, just too many turnovers, and yeah, we if you're a team, you just cannot have that, and that's what Mr. Rivera is probably going to talk about there, turnovers and that kind of stuff. All right, it's time for me to go over the lineup information for both teams, and we'll do that right now. And there we go. All right, get that there for you. Okay. Yes, we'll start with the Pleasant View Bulldogs. We have number 2, Landon Wagler, a starter. Number 4, Shane Stoll, a starter. Number 13, Evan Knepp, he's a starter. Number 14, Benjamin Raber. Number 15, Cohen Whitmer. Number 20, Carson Whitmer. Number 22, Trenton Graber, a starter. Number 23, Joel King. Number 25, Tyson Graber, a starter. And number 45, Leland Pickett. That is the information for Pleasant View. And then switch over to Good News Ministries. We have number 1, Thomas Bell. He's a starter. Number 23, Todd Jones. Number 11, Elijah Watkins. Number 4, Laren Brownie. Number 13, Demarion Scott. He's a starter. Number 22, Christian Skates, a starter. Number 12, PJ Nelson is a starter. Number 23, Macian Washington. Number 24, Keelan Moore. He is a starter. Number 30, Carlos Starks. Number 3, Deshaun Johnson. And number 2, Amit Anderson. And that is the information for Good News. Head coach, Mr. Brother Anthony Rivera. He's come here to preach at Suburban here several times during chapel when I was in school, and he always did a great job. But obviously, you remember me talking about the different things what happened with Mr. Rivera and his family last year, and certainly a sad situation. But it's always good to see Mr. Rivera doing what he does with coaching, and the Good News Ministries, what they do, and just the good stuff, all the great things that come in with that. And also, speaking of Good News Ministries, we Suburban will be playing them this next Friday for a couple games, JV and varsity. So Good News will be right back here at Suburban on Friday, and I'm just giving you that ahead of time. Of course, I'll say that at the end of the tournament, but I'm just telling you, since Good News is playing, I've just told you that. So anyway, of course, Suburban locked himself into the championship game against Trinity, and whoever loses this game will play in game number 3. All right, in the losers bracket. So all right, I'll give you a little break, and we'll be back here for the second half in 6 minutes. All right, welcome back as we get ready to start the second half. As you can see, Pleasant View 13, Good News. Did I just say that wrong? I just meant Pleasant View 32, Good News 13. Anyway, it's like sometimes anyway, it's right there. Just in case I did say it wrong or something. But anyway, sometimes it's like I know I said something, but then I remember, did I actually say that right or anything? I just anyway. All right, so 32-13 Pleasant View here as we get ready to start the third quarter, and we'll see what happens here. As here is 25-13, takes a deep three and got it. 35-13 in favor of the Bulldogs. And once again, good defense taken away and make it 37-13. And taken away by Pleasant View. And that's four. Another three is missed by the Bulldogs. And here comes Good News running. Two in the paint. Puts it up. No. Over a minute played here in the third quarter. And outside a three. Nope. And right there on the offensive board, puts it in. 39-13 in favor of the Bulldogs. And taken away once again by Pleasant View. And he missed a layup, though. And that one's laid in. And inside scores. 41-15. As you see, a timeout taken by Mr. Rivera and the Good News defenders. So we'll be right back after this short break. Out of timeout. And here is two. Foul on the Bulldogs. That's a two-point basket. It's just off. And outside a three, no. And outside 13, up top 25, a three is good. 44-15. And taken away once again. Inside, there you go. 46-15. Good defense, though, and taken away. My goodness. And count that in a foul. 48-15. But, folks, I'm just going to go ahead and... okay, good. Number 12 is okay. Good job. Number 25, Tyson Graber. Off. And an offensive board. Miss inside. Yeah, I was more worried about number 4 for good news than the action, really. I hope he's okay. I'm not quite sure what. And that one's inside good. Graber. (50-15). What else is new around here at Suburban? And they stole it away. That's a 3 off the right side of the rim. About 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. That's a 3 short. And rebound going to Pleasant View ahead. (13) 2 inside. No. And rebound good news. A minute 38 to play here in the third quarter. I guess a timeout was called. But anyway, folks. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Folks, you've really experienced this basketball as a start to this basketball season. You've experienced nothing but blowouts, really, because on opening night, junior high game, blowout, JV game, blowout, varsity game, blowout. That was opening night against Tabernacle. And then, of course, Varsity played a tournament at ICA. Pretty much the most competitive game there was the final game they actually played. But obviously they lost that one. Did have a 10-point lead, but then obviously this past week on Tuesday, junior high game blowout. Junior high boys and junior high girls. Well, it was close, but what can you expect from a junior high girls game? So I don't really count that. But then the varsity game blowout. And then here so far in this tournament, first game was a blowout. This one's the blowout. So I'm just being honest with you. You've experienced nothing but blowouts here if you look at it realistically here to start the basketball season. And that 3 is off. So, I mean, you guys have not gotten a good competitive basketball game yet. And I'm talking about a back and forth game, back and forth action, competitive, that kind of thing. And so I'm hoping, and Pleasant View seems like a good team, and they are. And I think the championship game between them and Suburban, I believe, that doesn't mean I know, but I think it will be a back and forth competitive game because I remember Pleasant View last year whenever they played our varsity, when they came here to Suburban to play 3 games, junior high, JV, varsity, and I remember varsity was pretty good, and Pleasant View actually won. So I mean, I think Pleasant View and Suburban should be a good competitive basketball game. At least I sure hope so. Or I give up. I'm just kidding. I mean, but I'm just telling you. I mean, like, my goodness, like, I think you guys understand. I think you guys know me enough by now and know how I feel about that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously I've made it clear here, but I'm just being honest with you. We need a good competitive basketball game. And I do not count the junior high girls as that first free throw is good. 53-15. Because obviously you can see that happening. You can just know. But I'm talking about, the other teams. But so don't take me wrong for anything. The second one is good, but just understand what I'm saying here, 53-17. And this isn't against anybody, but I'm just being honest and realistic about what's happened so far here in the basketball season. I'm just being honest and telling you and tell you what you've been watching, really. So that will be off the mark, and the third quarter will come to a close as Pleasant View leads 53-17. But I mean, so I'm waiting for the game. I'm waiting for the game where I get back and forth competitive action on the basketball court. I'm still waiting for it. I love those kinds of games. I love those nail-biting games. There's nothing like them. Okay, I'm gonna close my case on that for right now, but I promise you, I'm sure something like that will come up in my talk eventually, but about other things. But I'll stop that for now. But you folks understand what I'm saying, right? I mean, you don't just like to watch blowouts all the time, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's your team and they're blowing out the other team, then that's a good thing. But I guess I'm going to talk about it right now. What else am I going to do? And so, if it's your team that's blowing out, if it's your team blowing out the other team, then that's not too bad. I mean, yeah, you might want it to be a little bit closer, but I mean, at least respectively. But hey, it's fun to watch. Now, if you're on the other side of that, obviously not too much. Tell me about it. And then, but I mean, if that's one if you're just watching it, you're not announcing a game like I am. But I'm telling you, I mean, announcing games like this, I mean, it's like, you know, it's just, I do not like blowouts. Really, I don't. That's good. 53-19. I guess you can say the best part is that obviously, you haven't a ball, and it will stay with Pleasant View. But the good thing about it is I haven't had to, my voice is doing just fine. I haven't had to, get my voice really into it, so it's giving me the opportunity to, savor up when I do have to use it, strongly, and when I get excited and all that, That's all. That's the benefit. That's probably the only benefit, as it's 53-21. The only benefit when it comes to something like this, because I don't have to, lose my voice in a sense, as that shot is off. Because you guys also know how I get. I get really excited, with different things, and it just depends how the game is going. So it just kind of lowers the tempo, as it's 53-23. I've been doing this for a while, so you guys understand how I get. And obviously my goal is not to be mean or nothing, as that shot is in and out. I think you guys understand my concept in all these different things, As in the paint, 2-point shot, no. Outside, there is a corner three, is good. As good news, kind of picked up their scoring here lately, 53-26. As that was good defense by Good News, and that will be holding the ball, and it will stay with the defenders. And here's 11 for Good News. Outside 23, 30. Turnaround. Good job, as that one rolled in. 53-28, under 4 minutes to play. As Good News has picked up their scoring a little bit here. That's a wide open shot. No basket. And also, I just like to listen to coaches, get most times I like to listen to the coaches or different things that might be said, throughout the games and stuff. Then talking to their players and talking, throughout the game, stuff like that. 55-28, as I do my best to try to listen to everything that's going on. I like the fans and stuff like that. So, I enjoy, I enjoy the atmosphere most of the time. Sometimes the atmosphere can get out of hand. Not typically, but you've had there have been moments where it's like, someone gets mad at something and then they've had to stop play and stuff like that, but that's kind of what else would you expect. That's just what happens with any kind of sport, really. I mean it's fortunate, but it's what happens, obviously. Free throw, no good. But most times you don't have to worry about that. You not typically have to worry about most situations like that in a school setting, right? No, not typically. But there have been times, of course. Both free throws are no good. That one was in and out. It will stay. Good news ball, 3:23. 55-28 your score. And that one is taken by Good News, 23. Good job inside. 55-30. And that was a foul. As this is number 15, Cohen Whitmer, shooting 2 free throws for the Bulldogs, a Pleasant View. And that one misses. Second one is off. And right there on a follow, 57-30. And a timeout called. 2:57 to play here in the final quarter. Inbound. Out of bounds. Good News. We'll get it in. Tried to find somebody, but found a Pleasant View guy. Here's 15. 22, outside 15, and that one's off of Pleasant View. Can Good News get a basket? No. And that will be a foul or a held ball. And the inbound, there's 22. And outside 23. Over there in the corner, that's a 3, and it is just short. 14 there, though. Passes it out. A travel, so Good News has it. With 2 minutes exactly to play in this fourth quarter. Goes it ahead. On the ground, and Pleasant View picks it up, and they have the ball. And over and back, I guess. Substitution. And 2. Puts it in and a foul. Good job. 1:41 left. 57-32 plus 1 coming. Mitt Anderson. Free throw. Good. 57-33. And 15 over there, 14. And back out. Over there in the corner, 45. And a minute 24 left in this game. $14 inside, could not tell. 22 actually. Good save by Good News. Ahead, good catch, 2. And finds 22 outside. That's a 3. No. And rebound 23 outside. 22, dead on. No. Almost so. Under a minute now to play here in the fourth quarter. Carry. 37.1 seconds left as this game is just about ready to tick to its final. Here's 11 with the ball on the drive, puts it up, and count that in a foul. With 28.2 seconds left. It's 57-35. I mean, you can say Good News hasn't let, it's not like Good News has given up. They've come and scored some points here in the second half, and I mean, but unfortunately, it's just time is about ready to run out on them. But, to make it, somewhat manageable, hey, I'll take it, I'll take it. I'm sure they will too, but obviously they wish they could have played better. But they do get to play one more time in the next game, though, against Trinity. So that should be interesting. A team that only scored 2 points in the last game, and Good News has scored 35 in this game. So, so maybe next couple games we could have a couple entertaining matches. I sure hope so. Final seconds will tick down as you see it. And there you go. That's your final. And it's 57-35 in favor of Pleasant View. So it is set now. The game number 3, the losers, obviously Trinity and Good News will play. And we have plenty of time before all that starts at 12:30. And obviously Pleasant View and Suburban will play for the championship game. That's at 2 o'clock. So obviously, 2 more games left here on this tournament. And so obviously, so pretty simple tournament rules and stuff like that. And here we go.
All right, the next game will be between the Good News Defenders and Trinity Christian. That will start at 12:30, so we do have a little bit of time. Visit the concession stand. That will give these teams some breaks. And then the final game will be between Pleasant View Christian and Suburban Crusaders. That'll be at 2.
All right, so there you go. You even heard it from Mr. Gore's mouth. And, of course, you'll hear it from me again. But a little with the ending of this game, next game doesn't start till 12:30, so we got under 49 minutes. So how about this? We all get a nice little break. And so almost like this is like the end of the first half. And you got in the second half 2 more games left of this tournament. So, kind of stuff, something like that. But, I'll say some stuff, obviously, when we get towards the end of the tournament and stuff like that. But, obviously, what's at stake now. Of course, losers will play. Good News and Trinity. And then, obviously, Suburban and Pleasant View. So what I'm hoping for is a good couple entertaining games coming up. But we have some time in between them for them to rest, get some practice, get some food, and do what you want between now and then. And you folks get a little break too. So get ready to tune back in at 12:30. I'll have that for you between Trinity and Pleasant View. All right, talk to you guys in a little while, and we will be back with you then. All right, Matthew Fox saying goodbye for the time being, and I will talk to you for the losers game between Trinity and Pleasant View. Talk to you then.